For 5 weeks, EU-accredited. Bodyguard Park and my Warrapools. Better be all quality steers that day. Let us set a light, Cabernet. Can I make 310? 310 or 305? I'm at 95 and still, thank you, sir. Yep. I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9, $3.
Day 3 of the Hamilton weaner sale saw the Hereford independent agent sale. Bernie Grant joins me. Bernie, 1,500 cattle yarded here today, a very erratic market. Probably put down to the fact that performance cattle repeat buyers made the money and the rest of them really struggled.
Yeah, I suppose that is probably a fairly good assumption, Murray. Yeah, like, you know, all your cattle that, yeah, you've got sort of Paul Mason and one or two others that come back and buy the same cattle every year, and, you know, they certainly make the rate. You know, they were sort of $320 to $330 in that sort of price range, and then, excuse me, once you got off those sort of cattle, you know, the bulk of the cattle were probably $3 to $305.
Yeah.
You know, some, you know, in the 90s, and, you know, some a little bit more. The light cattle weren't too bad, you know, they were making sort of $320 or $30, you know, once you got down to the... And look, we haven't been able to buy those light cattle for a fair while, you know, 230 or 40 or 50 kilos, so punch them out, they're still good buying, I reckon. You know, sit them out for the spring, you'll be right.
Yeah, we had those repeat buyers, as you named Paul Mason back here today, Princess Royal doing a good job on the EU cattle,
yep.
and the EU cattle did stand out and won their stripes, but smaller field of gallery today. Some of the interstate travellers took off and have gone elsewhere.
Yeah, they have, you know. They probably indicated early in the week that they weren't going to hang around for today, you know. They didn't have a lot of orders for the Hereford cattle, you know, so the few that did stay, they bought cattle, so that's pleasing. So, you know, so a few did go up north.
Yeah.
And a few stayed local, so, you know, look, most, you know, pretty much all the clients are reasonably happy. You work out the dollars per head, and a lot of steers are still $1,000, $1,100, so, you know, it's not altogether bad. You know, I was talking to one of my clients earlier on, and, you know, he's back $280 on this, you know, last year's sale, so, but, you know, no 2 years are the same. You know, the seasons are always different. But the main thing is we've sold them. None went back home, you know, so that's a good thing. People buy them, they do a job for them, they'll come back and buy them again. So, you know, where the prime market's sitting, you know, you can't expect these store cattle to be making bloody 60 or 80 cents a kilo more than what the prime job is, you know. Most of these cattle are still 30 or 40 or 50 cents above the job.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got to probably get back into perspective a bit.
Yeah. An interesting aspect of the whole week here at Hamilton is there really hasn't been a lot of cattle bought from a local perspective to be put out and take the opportunity.
No, and that's been the case for the last couple of years. You know, I thought this year there might have been more, but you know, the last couple of years it's been the same case, and you know, it's probably reflecting in our prime cattle numbers that we get through here. You know, through the spring, those cattle just, you know, whether it be, you know, a few heifers or steers or whatever, they're just not coming back through the system again. But you're right, no, not a lot of cattle put out, and I thought with the season we've had, you know, there might have been a little bit more local interest, but you know, I guess we could use the old saying, we got out of jail.
Yeah. Bernie, you'll be back here again next week with 3 days. The Euros on Tuesday and two heifer sales on Wednesday in Hamilton. Wednesday, Thursday in Hamilton.
Yep.
So that'll be. We'll see whether you can find the key to that jail again.
Well, exactly. You know, the Euros are going to be the interesting one. You know, that really does rely on the blokes that sort of do that feeder job in a way, and to a lot of extent, Gippsland. You know, they've been pretty strong on those Euros in past years, so fingers crossed, you know, they're going to come back and buy them again. But, you know, just seeing what the job today, I suppose we can expect sort of 290 to 310 on the Euro job. So the heifers are going to be the interesting one. You know, anything that can go back into the paddock to breed from will probably attract a premium. But the rest, you know, like possibly might only be sort of in the 60s to 80s.
Yeah. Opportunity knocks Bernie.
Again, it does. It always does.
Thank you.